right into it.
Perfect.
What's up, Nick?
Not much. Getting ready to go, man.
When do you guys leave?
Athletes are leaving Sunday, so we got 2 more days. So they'll train Friday, Saturday, and then all the coaches are going down on Monday.
How many of your athletes are there right now?
So we've got Tia P. Ellis, who's one of our guys this year, who obviously you know from your interviews, Jay and Maddie. So we got 4 of them right here.
What do you think of the little the camp thing I talked about last week, and then it got a lot of steam?
Yeah. Man, I know. So the irony is not lost on me by saying this, but the whole camp thing is just still weird for us. Like, it's just one of those things where I don't really understand what the big hubbub is about on all of it. But like for us, it's good, right? Like we'd celebrate if we got that trophy at the end of the weekend when it comes to the games, but it doesn't change anything we would be doing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like we'd be coaching any different. It's not like we'd do anything different in the heat of the moment. But I think it's cool, right? Because it at least elevates the athletes, which is all we want at the end of the day. Because it brings more spotlight on those guys. That's what we want. Did you see what Caroline Lambry, so Jeff's coach, what she had come up with yesterday?
No, what'd she come up with?
So I don't know if it was her, or at least she was talking about it. I think it was on a podcast yesterday. She was saying do it like the Olympics. So it'd be like a medal count, right? So like first, second, third you delineate whatever points those are, and that's how you would get points. Because then you could throw people in that aren't in camps, still throw them on a leaderboard that works, but then obviously if you got more, you got a better chance there. I thought that was a great idea. It's just something that you can flesh out some more.
I don't understand. So do you mean first, second, third per event?
Yeah. So like, let's say the first event, the run and the swim, right? Let's say perfect world. We've got 3 athletes who go first, second, and third in the women's division. Let's say you get 5 points for first, 3 points for second, 1 point for third. So that would give you a total amount, but obviously golds would be weighted more than a silver or a bronze. So I guess at the end of the weekend, that's how you could tally it up.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay.
Because if you had, like, let's say Tia wasn't in a camp and Tia won as many events as she did in 2022, which I think was like 8 maybe, she could be all on her own on the leaderboard and still have more points than a big camp that maybe has a lot of athletes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Interesting. Okay, we'll take a look at that too. I guess because it's interesting because she's not in or Jeff Adler's, Caroline and Jeff, they're not in a classical training camp, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she's got some more athletes. I think she's got I saw some people at semifinals that are with them, but obviously at the games, Jeff would be the only one.
Okay. How does Tia feel this year going into it?
She's good, man. This is I was just talking to her this morning, and I think she feels the best she's ever felt going into the games is from a body standpoint, which like you knew about all of her injury with the wrist and everything in January, and everybody knew about that during the Open. But I think it gave her an opportunity to kind of reassess some things and I think she kind of felt like a cyborg before. Obviously, everybody deals with their like niggles and they deal with their little injuries as they go. But having something like that where it was kind of like, oh, crap, this could actually end my season, you start looking at things a little bit differently. And to see what she's done over the last couple months has been fun.
Did you guys get a house for your whole camp, or is she staying? Are you guys staying all together or are you separated?
No, Tia and Shane will always have a house on their own. They've always done it that way with Tia's parents. Now with Willow, obviously, they'll be all together. And then we actually have a really cool setup in Fort Worth with our Proven house. So we've got 22 people that'll be staying with us in this massive house that's like 6 minutes from the venue. They use it for like corporate retreats. So it's got 10 bedrooms and it's just going to be a blast for sure.
And you guys are calling it the Proven House?
Oh, yeah. We're not going to sell tickets yet. Man, maybe we will. We can make some money on it. But, hey, we'll throw a couple parties after the weekend's over.
Do you that's pretty funny. What area? You said 6 minutes away from Fort Worth?
Yeah, I don't know the area well yet. Like we went after Rogue, we drove down there and looked at Dickies and we looked at the kind of the grounds of everything. But obviously this year it'll be our first time kind of getting the lay of the land.
What activations are you guys doing at the games outside of Proven House?
Like, yeah, we've got some community workouts that'll be offsite, but pretty much everything with our partnership will be in the fan experience and the spectator workout area. So we've got two to three workouts per day in the spectator workout area. Go Ruck sponsoring, I think, half of them, which will be awesome because Michelle and her team will be over there with our coaches to where we're going to do a little bit of collab on that stuff. And then we'll have our big booth like we had last year. So we got some cool stuff there to where we're doing this 50 cal. Well, it's not a 50 cal. It's based on the 50 cal challenge from Rogue. Rogue is actually giving us an Echo bike to give away at the games. And Taylor Williamson, my wife, who you know, and then Tim Paulson, obviously, they did a max 30 cal challenge on that. We videoed it, and we're going to play it at the booth. And if you stop by and take them on the bike, you get a chance to get into our giveaway. You can win the bike itself. And then we'll just do some more retail activations that are on site, which will be fun.
It's going to take a special person to beat those. I mean,
so we got a backup plan for that for sure. Like you get an X amount of points if you just do the challenge, but if you beat them, you get thousands of points. So we'll see if anybody can take it on.
Yeah. I mean, your wife's like 5'11", right to 5'10". She's big and really
She
strong.
she got 33 cals in 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
And then Tim got 43.
Yeah, he's a machine too.
So that was fun to watch for sure.
And at your booth, you guys having the standard swag and all of that.
Yeah, we've got some cool shirts that we're going to do like around TIA this year too, which is really awesome. And then we've got our supplement line is there where we've got slushies that will be kind of cool for people when it's hot outside. So we got a cool stuff. Like we got a good lay of the land last year with our first year in the partnership. Kind of figured out what worked and what didn't work. And then we'll have some meet and greets, which will be really fun too. Colton Mertens will be there. Sydney Wells and Olivia Kersetter will be dropping by. So they'll be there on the weekend.
Oh, two of those athletes on our demo team.
Yeah, I got to work around your schedule for demo.
We'll make it work. There'll be something, but I was like, Colton, Sydney. Oh, wait.
Yeah. I was like, well, just give us a pocket of time where Dave will let you go be your own athletes for a little bit and we'll set it up.
You know, it's funny because like in the days leading up to the event, they're just slammed. And then once the event's going, they have time. They have time. Mm-hmm. So they'll be able to go over there. Who'd you say leading the workouts that you guys are doing for the fan experience? So
we'll have Shane's going to try to jump over there. Obviously with Tia, it'll be tough, but I think you know Dwight, the head of our affiliate programming. So he's going to be doing that. And we've actually got a team of like 27 volunteers. And most of them are all L1s that work at gyms across the country, some old friends of ours. So they'll just jump in and out. So we do 2 to 3 of those a day, and they'll be able to just kind of tag team them.
Okay, very cool. And throughout every day, the 4 days?
Yep. Start Thursday and then go through Sunday.
So, you know, I don't know if you saw this, but we required tickets for that. Even though it's free, we're requiring tickets. And the ticket sales, it's free. For the Will Rogers have been really good. There's like a few, like there's I think 3,000 or 4,000 already, and only half of those are ticket holders. So meaning a lot of the people that are getting them don't even have tickets. So it's a really cool opportunity if people are in town or in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to just come on out and go and see all the vendor booths and see you guys and see some of the athletes. I imagine Tia will make her way out there at some point, right?
Maybe after she's finishing her last event. I don't know if I'm going to see her.
You know, I only say that because last year, and I guess it was in the lead up, in the days leading up to the games. Oh, but it was different. She had her. Yeah, okay. She didn't compete last year. I saw her at the booth when I was walking around.
Yeah. I think I still have a good video of you. You were videoing her setting up the booth.
Yeah, because I was blown away that she was working and just doing everything right there, and I was like, "That's awesome!" Leading from the front.
Yeah, we definitely got all we could out of her last year, not competing because we knew that was a once in a lifetime until she actually retires.
Oh man, that's a word I haven't heard mentioned around her yet.
Well, there's no way to tell, right? Every year is the last year for these kind of guys. Like once you get into July, it's like I'm done with this. Then you get to October, and it's like, all right, let's go again.
Of the announced events so far, what do you guys? What are you personally most excited about?
Clean ladder for sure. That's going to be something like we've set up all the bars here at HQ and ran through what we would believe to be some weights. So that's a no-brainer. And from us seeing this stadium, I think that place is going to be rocking. Yeah, obviously, I think from a standpoint of not knowing what's happening, Chad's the one. But also with the sprint or whatever it may be with the implement with the Happy Star. Excited for that. And then obviously we got some good Aussies that can swim. So like all of them so far have been happy with our guys. Like I think everybody's excited. There's not a lot of disappointment yet.
What do you got yet? What do you guys? What do you guys think about the weight? What were you planning as the top load when you guys ran through? If you don't mind sharing.
Oh yeah, I think we did a lot. So we did a lot of variations, all from a power to a squat. Then I think the last one was 245 for women.
Wow.
Which would be, what would you program that at for a man?
I usually work the other way. So, and I don't know. Let me think. 245. Let's start.
So that would be like 355.
Okay. Yeah.
355, 70. If you did 70%, that's 248. So maybe 350.
Okay. Write these down. Take some notes.
Actually, yeah. Let me just tell you. Let me call Tia real quick. I'll ask what she did. Tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And then have you guys been hitting the track? I've seen some Tia post some footage from the track.
Yeah, it's been like ungodly hot here, like way more than normal, which is awesome for us. Like these guys will not be surprised by any heat in Dallas this year.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you before I forget? Tell me about what programs you guys offer. You know what's crazy? Like I drop into a lot of gyms, as you know, and I hit like a lot of gyms I drop into are doing I see you guys a lot. I see Mayhem in terms of programming. People are following.
Yep.
I see them following your programming. I see Mayhem a lot, and I see people using CAP. But I would say of the three, you guys probably, at least, especially in the last year or so, seem to be really popular amongst affiliates. So you obviously offer affiliate programming. What else?
Yeah, affiliate is one that we didn't really have on our radar. I think when I came over officially last January, we saw an opportunity there with Dwight because Dwight does such an amazing job. And I guess it's a good plug for we're doing main site in September. So that'll be awesome. That'll be our opportunity there where people can see his work if they haven't. But it's blown up like crazy over the last 12 months just because people just want to find something they can stick to and that their clients like. And I think testing here now on site with HQ has been a game changer for us because we can have some real-time data. Obviously, all these guys come from affiliates, even Shane and Tia. So we knew what we were doing, but it's good to have kind of the confidence there now. On top of that, though, we've got the compete track, which is just our standard what our athletes do here. Obviously, we personalize things here with our athletes because they all have their own coaches. But from a template-based program, that's the compete track. We just launched the age group track, which is pretty cool. So because the season structure had changed last year, it goes completely towards the teen and masters divisions. So rather than the typical open quarterfinal semi that the open division does, these guys will have different cycles that go on for their own events, which is cool. And then proven 60. So the 60 track is just 60 minutes a day. If you're somebody that works out in your garage or even an affiliate that you just want to kind of do your own thing, that's just a different version of the compete track. So we like to line up probably 2 to 3 times a week to where all of our tracks will do the same conditioning piece in a different variation. So if you are on one or the other, you can kind of talk to each other, share your results, and go from there. And then we've got our Spanish track. So for all of our Latin American countries that we have, that's been a really cool one. We've got a full-time coach that does that. He actually travels 6 months out of the year down there doing camps himself. So it's been cool to kind of connect with that audience and to see what happens at Copa Sur is just unreal. So like just the amount of growth that has down there in Brazil has been cool to see.
Who leads your Spanish track?
So his name's Batu, Coach Batu, Baron. Have you met him before?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, maybe at the Open when you were here. But so he spent 6 months in Nashville and then 6 months. He's originally from Argentina, but he travels all around Latin America.
Okay. Speaking of your gym in Nashville, and I've seen Sydney post about it or put it in her story, but it looks like Paper Street. So the Paper Street Coffee setup is in the front there, right?
Yeah, we are 15 hours away from it. The opening, grand opening.
Oh, no kidding.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah.
So all the stuff she's been posting or I've seen online is because it's about to open.
Yeah. So they had a employee training last 2 weekends ago. That was kind of the soft opening, and people are just losing their minds. It's going to be so good because I don't know if you saw it when you were here, but we're next to these apartment complex where it's
Yeah,
like nearly 1,000 apartments. So like that's all their business, which is amazing. Those people are pumped.
that's really cool. Congrats
Yeah,
on that. And is what's the guy's name? I forgot his name. The guy who runs Paper Street.
Gabe.
Gabe, but he doesn't live in Nashville, does he?
No, so he hired two really cool girls, Shane and Paulina, who Paulina actually moved down here for that, and she lives in the apartment next door. So she literally just walks over here every morning. But they're running everything while he stays at home in New Jersey.
Oh, that's great. Well, Nick, do you have any questions for me before we break?
Ooh. Oh, I did have a good. I wrote this down. Hang on, let me see this. Oh, this was a good question. This is one I wanted to ask you after watching all your athlete interviews. So you
Yeah.
kept asking people like what they were most like. What was an event that they were disappointed by, or like one that they didn't like? So for you, like, what was one year that you walked away from and wished that you could either have a redo or that like just didn't go right? Do you have one?
2 years ago at the no, not 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So the 21 games, that clean, we had a clean ladder basically with the run built
Yep.
in. And we tested the shit out of it here at the ranch and got everything dialed in. Then with the chaotic nature of that week, deprioritized testing it there because we thought, it's a clean with the run. And as everything was laid out and as the bars were a little longer, it actually, the timing that I had created and planned for it did not work appropriately. And so very few, like it was chaos. And then actually right before the women started, and we talked about this in one of the interviews, I went back there and said, hey, we're increasing your time cap by like 1 or 2 minutes so people could finish.
Yeah.
So that one was really something I wish I had back. I was really fired up at that moment. I was super disappointed, super disappointed in myself specifically. It was ultimately nobody's fault but my own. Then the final years ago, it was a deadlift, handstand push up, and then I think you lunged at the end, and like only 2 or 3 men, I don't remember how many women, but only 2 or 3 men finished it. And in testing, Julian Alcaraz, who was really good at handstand push-ups, he was our primary tester, and he set a time that I thought would be average, but turns out his time was really good. Yeah. And so I was like, damn. And so through both of those lessons, and it's crazy because they're even recent lessons, but through the other one, like having multiple people test things, especially things where timing is really important, is really important. So you get good feedback. And then, retesting on site is also, especially with the right spacing and everything, the game day layout, really critical. So those are the big ones.
Yeah, that one stuck out in my head because I remember seeing people that were running in their lifters when they were running outside of the arena and back, which was funny. That was to see games because you'll see that in the affiliate, right, where people have mobility issues or whatever it is. But to see games athletes doing that was funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, you said athletes are leaving Sunday. When are you leaving?
Yeah, Monday we're driving, so I've got all these cardboard boxes ready to go in my car right now, and we're making I think it's 9.5 hours, so not too bad.
Not too bad. All right, Nick. Well, thanks a lot. Look forward to seeing you at the games and chatting it up there.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dave.